welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000. It is Challenge the Scorpion. It's 1850 points. Ben's Grey Knights continue their march up the table, and this time we've bypassed Necrons. New codex coming out, new figures. So we've left the Necrons. The next level up is the Tau. The Tau, we think, hold second place on the channel. Ben is getting very high in the table here. So he's taking on the Tau. It'll be a new experience. We haven't seen Tau versus Grey Knights ever before on the channel. Looking forward to this. It's certainly a different style of play to Tyranids. So fresh from his victory against the Tyranid Swarm, he now takes on the technologically advanced young race of the Tau, one of my favourite armies. So we hope we perform well in this game. If Ben wins, then he can challenge to reach the very top. We cannot let that happen. We're going to see what happens. We're fighting on the urban terrain here with the great cathedral ruin in the centre. And on the left, perimeter fence, and the compound here with some industrial buildings, barrels and ammunition crates. And coming around the other side, more ruins here, street lighting you can see, and then tank traps in the centre. And then the perimeter fence continues here. It's been heavily bombed out, this sector, but it's Imperial Guard sector, familiar ground for the Grey Knights. They have eradicated every enemy force that has turned up. Can they remove the Tau from this area? We'll go on to deployment and have a look at the forces in this game. This 1850 points game. It is Tau versus Grey Knights. Let's challenge the Scorpion. I'm just going to run through the list here for the Tau. So it's a Tau Commander, Iridium Armour, 2 gun drones, Cyclic Iron Blaster, Plasma Rifle, and then 10 Pathfinders, no upgrades for them, just 10 Pathfinders. Then onto Elites here, a squad of XV8 Crisis battle suits, missile launchers on top, and then twin-linked fusion blasters for them as well. Team leader, 2 drones to protect them. Second squad of crisis battle suits, plasma rifles, fusion blasters for them. 2 gun drones to protect those. No team leader for that squad. I'm just dropping 10 points just so I can squeeze in the Iridium armour in this list. Troops, 2 units of Crute, 2 units of 12, no upgrades. And then 2 units of 12 Fire Warriors, no upgrades for them, just 2 units of 12. 1 Ethereal in the centre. Then another elite here. It is the Riptide. It's a twin-linked fusion blaster on there. And then the Ion Accelerator. Then for heavies, 3 XV88 broadsides. And they are being protected by 4 missile drones, and they've got twin-linked plasma rifles on top, as well as their heavy rail rifles. 2 hammerheads, one of those is long strike, and they've got smart missile systems and rail guns. So that's the force for the Tau. It's quite big compared to this Grey Knight force, at least outnumber him 2-1, perhaps even 3-1. We've called the commander Shadow Strike, by the way. There was a mini competition to see who could name the famous Tau commander who single-handedly destroyed James's Shadow Sword. So Shadow and then Strike we thought was a good name. So Commander Shadow Strike commands here. He's been named. He's famous throughout the galaxy. Just hope he survives this battle.
1850 point Grey Knight list is 5-man squad of Paladins, Brotherhood Banner and Demon Hammer Paladin, and Heavy Silencer. Level 3 Librarian, Terminator Armour is my Warlord. Caldor Drago. Vindicare Assassin. 5-man Terminator squad. Another 5-man Terminator squad. Dread Knight with Nemesis Greatsword and Gatling Silencer. Nemesis Dread Knight with Gatling Silencer and Heavy Incinerator. Storm Raven Gunship with Twin Link Las Cannon, Typhoon Missile Launcher, and the rockets and extra armour.
So there's Ben's force. It's all painted. It wasn't right at the very start, but he pushed ahead, got them done. He's changed his list here. It's condensed right down. Yeah, he's dropped the Land Raider and swapped him for Drago. So a lot of nasty units in there, but maybe the massed firepower of the Tau may be able to knock this force down, but it's just unknown quantity at the moment. We don't know how well Tau perform against Grey Knights, and we're not really sure how well Grey Knights will do against Tau. We'll see. One thing we want to do is keep them at arm's length. That's one thing for sure. The scenario is Purge the Alien and Vanguard Strikes. It's kill points. There's no objectives, just kill points. You get Linebreaker, Slay the Warlord, First Blood, and then it's Vanguard Strike. So it's diagonal deployment. Ben's deploying in that corner, and then the Tau deploying over here. Alright, so just deploying with the Tau here. Ben's deploying his forces. Difficult one. We're trying to position ourselves. Ben's Warlord has got outflanked, so he can turn up here potentially. So that's push the Tau over to this side of the perimeter fence. We're hugging this piece of terrain. It's 3 levels to it. Ground floor, first floor, second floor. Pathfinders at the top, Fire Warriors in the middle, and then another unit of Fire Warriors there. We've still got 2 units of Kroot to infiltrate and put on the table. Hammerhead just here at the front, Riptide at the back, and then a unit of Crisis battle suits just to do a guard duty. It's kill points. We want to cluster together, stay alive, protect each other. 2 Hammerheads, one at the front, one on the right hand side here, and then the XV-88s in a commanding position upstairs. I mean, they are a little bit exposed if Ben closes the distance, which you may well do with these Dreadnoughts. The Tau have got to be precise with their shooting. Target priority will be key for them. We've got to keep these Grey Knights back and eliminate them as quickly as possible. Ben does have good shooting as well, if he can get close enough. So it's a real challenge here for this Tau force. Ben's saying it's tough. He's struggling to decide where he's going to deploy. He's got to hide his troops now. It's different to the Tyranids, where without that much shooting going on, he could deploy how he wished. Now the Tau are controlling his deployment because of the number of guns bristling across the table. So Ben's key will be to hide and then close the distance as quickly as possible. Tau don't have to worry about going on the offensive here. There's no objectives to capture. It's just a matter of staying alive and destroying the opponent. Good advantage for Ben is he has tough units that will be hard to kill, so it'll be harder to get those kill points. And that's for the Tau. There are some weaker units on the table, such as the Kroot and others. We may well just keep them at the back and out of the trouble. Don't take any risks in this game. Kroot have infiltrated, we're just putting them there. Another unit of Kroot just infiltrating here, looking out across this direction. We've done our scout moves as well with the Pathfinders. They've just moved forwards to the edge of the building there. And then Ben's deployment, you can barely see the Grey Knights, but they are on the table. One Dread Knight just here, then one Dread Knight at the back here, and then a unit of Terminators with them. Another unit of Terminators here, and then the Sniper, the Vindicar Assassin, is just there, out of range 36. He's going to take pot shots from the back. In reserve for the Grey Knights is the Storm Raven Gunship, and then outflanking Drago, the Paladins and the Librarian. And then deep striking will be this squad, and they're being joined by the Tau commander. So to go on to the first turn of the game, Tau will go first unless Ben rolls a 6. He's going to roll it up. 6 it is. The Grey Knights go first. He's happy. Grey Knight turn 1. They make the first move. Right, so movement phase for the Grey Knights, here they come. He's done his shunt move, or his jump once per game, and it's jumped up and over here. The Dread Knight has landed right in the heart of the tower position, so much for keeping them at arm's length. Ben has arrived quickly, then jumping up 12 here with the other Dread Knight as well, so he's assaulting the tower position with the Dread Knights. Around here, the Grey Knight Terminator's just moving along behind the ruins here, and again behind the ruins just there. Really being intimidated by that tower presence. They're holding back, which is fine by us. So if the tower can deal with these two Dread Knights, that would free up our force to have a little bit more freedom to move around the table. But there's the threat. Ben's going to fire all he's got, and then the tower response will need to be swift and precise. We'll see what happens. We'll go on to Psychic Phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 1. Alright, just Psychic Phase, Hammerhand and Force on him, and Hammerhand and Force on him. Going to go into Shooting Phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 1. He might be able to get first blood if he's clever. Right, it's the Shooting Phase on turn 1 for the Grey Knights, and it has been a turn of pain. The tower now, the latest victims of the Grey Knight force. This Dread Knight firing through, he fired up with the Flamer, killed 8 of the Pathfinders, and the Gatling Silencer finished off the last up there. The Ethereal died, and that has cost us. He's got a bonus point for killing its kill points, so 2 points there, point for first blood, and then a bonus point for killing the Ethereal. So 4 points knocked up straight away by that Dread Knight. This Dread Knight assault is really working very well indeed. And then firing from here has killed 1 missile drone, and then one of the XV-88s as well. So tower really under attack here. Very, very impressive stuff from the Grey Knights. Right, shooting then. That's all done. He fired the Vindicare Assassin as well, but no damage on the Hammerhead. So shooting done. There's no assaults, thankfully, and we're going to go on to tower turn 1. If the tower get a chance to do anything, what a nasty hit. The Grey Knights really are forced to be reckoned with. We're going to go on to tower turn 1, see what we can do in response to this Dread Knight assault. Right, movement for the tower on turn 1. Hammerhead's moving out and swinging their turrets round to fire solid shots at the Vindicar. It's a desperate shot, but it's better than nothing. And just keeping our frontal armour facing this direction in case Drago and his crowd turns up. And then all guns, pretty much every weapon that we have in this tower position is going to fire at the Dread Knight. It has to be destroyed. There is no option here. The tower have to let rip with everything, and then they can bring it down. We've Nova charged here with Ripple Fire, so the Twin Fusion Blaster can fire twice. The Crisis Suits are there as well, which we're happy to have them there, supporting with the main tower force. Desperate times call for desperate measures. There's no Psychic Phase. The tower don't dabble in that stuff. We're going to go on to shooting. Can raw shooting power purge the area of this Dread Knight. It has to be destroyed. Shooting phase coming up for the tower. Right, so tower shooting on turn 1, and he's gone. We did it. Yeah, moving down with the XV-88s are able to rapid fire the plasma rifles. They picked up a couple of wounds. Wound coming through from the Riptide, then another wound knocked up by the Crisis team, and then the final wound coming in from a unit of Fire Warriors. Ben got roll a 1 on one of his saves, and that was the end of the Dreadnought. So that's good. The Tau dealt with that. I'm glad we clustered the units together. They needed mutual support. And a couple of adjusting moves there. Crisis team's just moved back here. And just positioning itself, waiting for the next Grey Knight assault to come in. Hammerheads. Pot shot from Hammerhead number 2, all the way up the table. Hit and wounded the Vindicar assassin, and then Ben rolled a 1 for his armour save. The Vindicar assassin had his head blown off by the solid shot from the railgun. This one fired ahead, long strike, wounding a couple of the Terminators, but Ben passed all of his saves. So that's Tau shooting finished. It's not gone too bad. Vindicar brought down and one of the Dread Knights. Going to go on to Grey Knights turn 2. We'll see what they can do. Tau going to brace themselves for the next assault coming their way. Right, moving for the Grey Knights on turn 2. Nemesis Dread Knight moving up here. Here comes the next assault. We're going to have to try and stop him. And then in a sandwich move, Drago and his unit have moved up here on the flank. Looks like Ben's other Grey Knight unit's just hiding at the moment, but we may see them appear somewhere. Going to go on to Psychic Phase now, see what Ben can do. I'm sure Gates of Infinity will be one of the powers that he uses. These Grey Knights are slippery characters to deal with. The Tau just really battening down the hatches here, trying to weather the storm. And if we can beat back enough of the units, then we'll start to break out and chase down the rest of his force. But we'll see what happens. Going to go on to Psychic Phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 2. Desperate stuff already at this stage in the game. I'll just do Psychic Phase here, and on the Force and Hammer Hand on the Dread Knight, and then over here a whole load of stuff happened. Force and Hammer Hand on these, and then Gates of Infinity is going to move in a minute. And then he tried to cast Invisibility, but we denied it on 2 6s. And then Psychic Shriek, and that's caused 1 wound on the Riptide here. And then now he's going to try and move with his Gates of Infinity. And then Gates of Infinity, he was there, now he's here. It's a nice plumb target for us. I'm going to let rip at them. If we can bring that lot down, the Tau will be jubilant. But we're going to go on to shooting now for the Grey Knights on turn 2. And they're going to let rip with more devastating fire. But I thought the Tau were good, but Grey Knights are pretty good as well. We're going to roll up here for shooting on turn 2 for the Grey Knights. Right, shooting for the Grey Knights on turn 2. 2 crew brought down by the Dread Knight, that's not too bad. And then firing through 1 wound, 2 missile drones destroyed by Drago's units. We've got off lightly there, passing morale. So we're holding ground. Now the Tau are going to have to let rip again, and they've got to blow away this unit here, the Dread Knight. We think it's impossible. But we'll see. We're going to hand over to the Tau now on turn 2. We'll see if the commander turns up. In fact, we'll roll it now. On a 3+, the commander arrives. Yes, he does. 3+ is here. Shadow Strike is not going to let victory slip too easily. So Tau turn 2 coming up. We're going to have to let rip with a hail of fire and reduce this lot down as much as we can. Right, Tau movement on turn 2. I think every single figure on the table for the Tau will be firing at Drago and his crowd. So Ben's braced himself for a hail of fire that's going to let rip, but I still think we've got doubts we're going to bring him down. We have to destroy Drago and his unit, or there will be big trouble. Ben has his head in his hands. Right, both hammerheads have positioned themselves, just moving 6. They can still fire submunition, swinging round with view to Drago there. Crisis suits just moving out. 2 of them will get shots up at Drago's unit. Fire warriors happy to sit where they are. Kroot just shuffling forward, trying to get in within rapid fire range. Another fire warrior squad here within rapid fire range. XV-88s holding their ground. We fouled our Nova charge. We've taken a wound, so we don't get ripple fire this turn. And then Shadow Strike, in the nick of time, has turned up right behind Drago's unit. So it's Drago moving and then counter moved by Shadow Strike and his unit there. We're going to go on to shooting. It could be one of the most epic rounds of shooting, or it may be a disaster. Victory pivots on the shooting that we can let rip this turn at these. Going to go on to shooting phase for Tau now on turn 2. So we're going to film this here. Long strikes shot coming in. We're going to position it just here. That's deviated 3 inches. That is hit. There are 7 figures there. So we'll roll up these wounds. Just need 2s. They've all wounded, so we're starting off here with 7 saves that Ben will need to make of 2+. These are paladins, remember, 2 wounds each. There's a lot of wounds in that small unit. Ben, we're asked a question, what is your estimated points value of that cluster of figures there? You've got... Yeah, could even, maybe even more than that. Yeah. So about a third of his army is there. Right, he's rolled them up and he's passed the first lot. It doesn't bode well. It doesn't bode well. Second submunition shot on the same spot. It's scattered wildly and it's gone 9 less 4 is 5 inches. Right, so 1 wound on the paladin here. No, you took your armour, didn't you? So one wound down from the submunition. Right, next up, any other blast weapons? Yes. We're going to fire the Riptide. Yeah, we can fire. It's in overcharge, but you can still fire. Not overcharge. I can fire overcharge, not overcharge. So same spot just there. We want this to hit. If it scatters onto long strike, I will concede. No, it hasn't. It's all right. It's gone 3 inches this direction. So I'm not going to get the full unit. And then just here, catch 4. 2s to wound. Yes. So cover. We'll give him cover. We'll give him cover of 4+. 4+ cover save. 4+ cover save, instant death. This passes the first, passes the second. Don't do this, Ben. Fouls 1, hallelujah. Fouls another. So 2 front paladins, the falchion and the sword, have been brought down. It's good shooting. From the Riptide, we'll fire the twin-linked fusion blaster as well, and that misses. Going to go on to the XV-88s here. So the 2 railguns, they both missed. Then we have rapid fire pulse or plasma rifles. They're twin-linked. We get 3 hits. We get 2 wounds. 2 closest guy, AP2, so saves here, cocked. First save, no. Second save, yes, so a wound, it would be this guy here. So another Grey Knight Terminator, another Paladin gone. So on 4s to hit with the Kroot. I expect them to do too much, but just to whittle down the wounds. And whoa! Strength 4. Yeah, strength 4. So 6 saves of 2+. And it'll be the Bannerman that dies first. 6 saves of 2+. Any ones? No, he's passed all of them. So that's that Kroot unit done. Next Kroot unit. are on 18 shots with these. Needing 4s. It's a very, very good roll. Then we're on force to wound. Ben's got to make another 6 saves. Can't complain about that from the crew. Matched firepower from them with their crew rifles. Double 1. The Bannerman has gone. Got to ask Ben, is the sweat starting to form? Yes. Things are a bit edgy here. Come on, Tau. Right, we'll let rip now with the... What next? What next? What next? We'll fire with these crisis suits here. We'll fire fusion blasters here. Ben doesn't like all these AP1 weapons. 2 shots here, twin linked. Hit with 1, we'll re-roll. Hit with 2. 2's to wound. Got 1. Ben needs to make 1 invuln save. Saved. That's his iron halo. We'll fire with the missile pods. 1 more wound. Regular armor save, yeah. Passes. And then the gun drone hits twice. Wounds once. Regular armor save. And he passes that as well. Okay, no damage from the crisis suits. Okay, so we're going to move on to... We've got 2 units of fire warriors left and the command team. We'll fire... we'll fire the command team next. Here we go, Shadow Strike and his unit. We'll fire the humble drones first. It's 5s to hit with them. We've got 1 hit, we re-roll. We've got 4 hits, 3's to wound. Yeah, 2 saves, a 2+. The Justicar will die if you... No, he's past that on 2 and a 3. Okay, now we'll go down to the regular squad. Plasma rifles at rapid fire range, 6 shots. We need 4s. If all these hit will be...
Overheat, surely?
No. Don't get that for Tal. Only 1 hit. 2's to wound. Yes, AP2. 1 invuln save of 5+. Hallelujah. Justicar brought down. Now, so we're down to just the Librarian and Dragu. Fusion blasters. 3 fusion blaster shots. 1 hit. It's poor firepower from these guys. It's a wound. It's strength 8, AP1. A 1. What's his toughness?
5.
On the Librarian. Take him off. He's toughness 4. Fusion blaster has melted the Librarian. Drago on his own. And guess who's left to fire? Shadow Strike. So the commander's going to fire here. Oh, this could be interesting. So fire Psychic Iron Blaster here from the commander. 2's to hit. Yes. And 2's to wound. 2 saves of 2+. Please, Ben.
1 wound.
1 wound. Drago's knocked down. Oh, epic. Drago's a quarter. Ben's getting annoyed. I think that's about the first time for Grey Knights he's ever got annoyed. And now a rapid fire shot from the plasma rifle. 2 shots, 2 hits, 1 wound, and it's AP2, so a 3+ invuln with that shield. Another 1! Drago's taken another wound. He's half dead. Wounded in the leg, wounded in the arm. Shadow Strike knocks his opponent down, but he's only half dead. It's down to the Fire Warriors to rapid fire him to death. This could be the place where Drago dies. Right, so 12 Fire Warriors on the lower level. Ben could survive. What's your toughness? 5. Drago.
Yeah.
4's to hit. God, this is one of the tensest rounds of shooting. Got the hits there. 4's to wound at strength 5. Ben has to make 4 saves. If he gets 2 1s, Drago dies. He's passed. Right, it's down to the last Fire Warrior squad. The last Fire Warrior squad loads its pulse rifle rounds, lets off a hail of fire. Wish we had that. The F aerial's still alive. 4's to hit, about average, I think. Just removing our misses. Fair few have missed, but still a fair few hits. Wounds. Oh, very good indeed. Ben has to make 8 saves of 2+. He's passed 3. He's rolling them in stages here. He's passed 3 more. I'll only hope now. 2 more. I'll only hope now is a double 1. Draco. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Come on, Junior.
Draco lives. Draco lives. Right, that's shooting done. We're going to do jetpack moves now and back off. Right, it's just movement here. Jetpack moves 8 inches by the Riptide, and then the Crisis team 8 inches moving up this direction, and then the Shadow Strikes squad moving here 6 inches. Difficult decision to make. If we backed off this direction, there's 2 units of Grey Knight Terminators over there. Don't want to mix with them. So we've clustered together, and we'll try and take advantage of the supporting fire rule. If Ben does charge, then the tower gun line will erupt again and try and bring Drago down. It's a desperate tactic, but it may pay off. That's the end of tower turn 2. Grey Knight turn 3 coming up now. Storm Raven gunship may arrive. See what Drago can do on his own, and then we've got the Dread Knight on that flank as well. But Tau giving an account of themselves, it's costing them dearly, but they are dishing out the damage. Ben's just rolled for the Storm Raven and got a 1. It doesn't arrive. Drago's on his own with the Dread Knight. Going to go on to the movement phase now on turn 3 for the Grey Knights. Right, moving on to turn 3 for the Grey Knights. It's quite predictable, really. Nemesis Dread Knight moving forwards 12. Such a brilliant unit, they really are good. And then Drago, who seems to have left his wounds behind. But he's just moved around in this direction, and he looks set to try and assault. Shadow Strike there. And Grey Knight Terminators emerging from behind the ruins. That's very brave, very brave. I hope they can sneak up whilst the tower are busy and preoccupied. So, going to go on to Psychic Phase now on turn 3 for the Grey Knights. And just rolling up here, Force has been cast on Drago and Invisibility as well. Then he tried to cast Psychic Shriek on the Fire Warriors here. We denied it. We got a 6. And he's just going to continue now. And then Hammerhand on the Dreadnought and Force as well. Okay, so his powers are knocked down a little bit. He's lost some of his powers. Librarian's gone. And the handful of dice that he has diminished somewhat. But with Drago still alive, it's still pretty good. Going to go on to shooting now on turn 3 for the Grey Knights. Right, shooting attacks. Grey Knight Terminators firing down. Drago with his Mastercrafted Stormbolter, and then the Dread Knight firing through has stripped away the drone protection and dealt out 2 wounds here on the Crisis suits. It was 2 wounds on the leader there. One lookout sir has spread that wound out, so 2 wounds on there. That's all the shooting done. Ben thinks he's levelling it out. I'd have to agree. But it all depends on these charges. Can supporting fire save the tower? It'll be a real test of this trait for this faction. So we're going to go on to charges now on turn 3. Drake Knight charging in. Roll it up, Ben. See what he gets. Double 1. 7, he's in. And Drago needs a double 1. We'd like him to get a double 1. No, 7. They're piling in. The Grey Knight's angry. Ben's angry as well, which makes a change. Usually he's cool and collected. But he's been rattled by the tower. But looks like our commander could be in trouble. Right, so we're going to roll up here, supporting fire. See what we can do. Right, so they've charged in. We're going to work out supporting fire here. So the unit's being charged is there. We're going to fire all our shots at Drago. He's invisible. It's 6s to hit. Then we'll get supporting fire from both Tower Fire Warrior squads, and then also this Crisis squad just there, and a Kroot squad 2. So I'm going to try and stop Drago here. Let's start with Fusion Blasters, needing 6s. Got a 6. 2s to wound, yes. He's got to make a 1 or a 2, and Drago's taken a wound. A 1. Another wound on Drago. So Drago takes a wound. Drago takes a wound. Okay, now we're going to fire the plasma rifles. Rapid fire. 6s. No. The commander, Shadow Strike, is going to fire his Psychic Iron Blaster. Nope. And then the rapid fire plasma rifle gets a hit. It's AP 2, Strength 6. Gets the... No, it doesn't. He's Toughness 5. Ah. Okay, so that squad's fired. We will fire the top Fire Warrior squad at Drago as he goes in. Right, so we've got 24 shots here. The top Fire Warrior squad firing down at Drago. Needing 6s, getting some. 5 6s, will not complain. 4s to wound, yes. He's got to make 4 saves. If he gets a 1, Drago is... Ah! He lives. Find the Kroot on the 2nd level. That's the last unit that can fire at Drago. 2 6s, 5s to wound, 1 save. On a 1, Drago dies! Uh-oh. Kroot firing down from here. Drago was here when he charged. So the Kroot on the 2nd level firing down have brought down the last wound on Drago. Drago's gone. That has tipped it. We've got 1 Fire Warrior squad on the lower level. They'll fire at the Dread Knight. Right, it's Fire Warrior squad firing at the Dread Knight, needing 6s. So supporting fire has paid off. 2 saves on the Dread Knight of 2+. 1 cocked dice, is going to roll it again. No, he's passed up there, it's no problem. Then we're going to fire the 3 Fusion Blasters at the Dread Knight. 6s to hit, nope, we'll re-roll. 6s to hit, nope. And then the missile shots, I think this Dread Knight is in. So he may well get his revenge. They all missed. Then just the drone left. Misses, re-rolls. Misses. That's all the supporting fire done. It's paid off. Drago's been brought down under a hail of fire from the building here, but that unit may still be in a lot of trouble as the Dread Knight charges in. So that combat result there, the Dread Knight cut down 3 of the Crisis suits, no damage back in return. We busted morale, and then Ben chased the Shadow Strike down, and he's been destroyed. The Tower Commander is dead. Shadow Strike dies. He was cut in half by the Nemesis Dread Knight's sword there. So Ben's going to consolidate with him. That Crisis team's gone as well, so we're going to go on to Tau, turn 3. On the table, all that's left, the Grey Knights, is 2 Terminator squads and then the Dread Knight. Tau's still got a fair amount left, but the head's been well and truly cut off the snake. But the Tau continue on. There stands some chance of bringing down the Dread Knight here and chasing this Grey Knight force. We're going to go on to Tau turn 3 coming up. Right, so moving for the tower on turn 3, both the hammerheads moving round. They can fire their submunition rounds at the Terminators over there. Riptide moving around the corner here, he's got a view to the Terminators. And then the Crisis team just moving into position to fire at the Dreadnought here. XV-88's moving upstairs to get a clear view. Fire Warriors and Kroot ready to fire down with massed firepower as well. It's worked for us so far. We need to bring that Dreadnought down and damage those Terminators, and we could go on to try and wipe out this force, but we need very good shooting to do that. Going to go on to shooting now for the Tau on turn 3. So we're going to fire the Crisis team first. Here, no cover for the Dreadnought. He'll get his 5+ inv. Force to hit with the Fusion Blasters. 666. Toughness 6, but strength 8. He's got 3 inv saves to make of 5+. If Ben passes all these, the Tau could be in trouble. If he fouls all of them, then the Dreadnought would be in trouble. He's fouled 1. He's got cocked dice. He's fouled 2, and he's just going to re-roll here. He's passed 1. 2 wounds. That's not bad, can't complain there. We're going to fire the missile pods at him as well. 3 hits, strength 7, 2 wounds, 2 saves, a 2+, double 1. No, okay. Right, now we're doing 12 Kroot. They're within rapid fire range here, firing across. So 4s to hit. Hoping this massed firepower will pay off. That's good. 4s to hit there. Nice lot of hits. 6s to wound. Yes. 4 6s. Ben's got 4 saves of 2+. He's passed again with those. We'll fire the next Kroot squad on the top level there. 20 shots with the 10 Kroot upstairs, all within rapid fire range. Needing 4s to hit. Okay, again, good shooting from the Kroot. 6s to wound, 2 more 6s, 2 more saves of 2+. Yes, he's passed those as well. Kroot sniping hits bouncing off the armour of the Dreadnought here. Fire Warriors down the lower level. 12 guys, rapid fire, 20 shots. The amount of shots that we're firing, it's going to be about 100 small arms fire rounds coming in. 4s to hit. It's good again. That's slightly above average. 5s to wound this time. We're now going to ask Ben to make 5 saves of 2+. Surely. He's got a 1 there. One more 1. Yes! The Dreadnought is gone. Massed firepower again, taking its toll. Right, so shooting for the Tau. The Dreadnought's gone. That's mission accomplished. We fired our remaining weapons. A couple of Fire Warriors on top here. Some snapshots from above. We missed, only caused 1 wound, but Ben passed his inv. Fire from the Riptide, and then submunition shots from the Hammerheads failed to do any damage on the Terminator squad there as well. So the Tau have dealt with a threat here, but haven't touched the Terminators. We'll see what Ben does with them. Just 2 units of Terminators left on the table, and then the Storm Raven gunship will turn up on turn 4 automatically for Ben. So yeah. So we're going to go on to turn 4 for the Grey Knights. What are they going to do? 2 units of Grey Knight Terminators left and 1 Storm Raven. See what happens. Right, so moving for the Grey Knights on turn 4. This squad has decided to move out of cover and head in this direction. Ben may be going for line breaker, perhaps try and knock up a point. Terminators continue their advance forwards towards the tower over there, and then the Storm Raven gunships come on 18 inches heading towards the tower as well. Still some firepower and killing potential, but the upper hand is over to the tower now. Right, so Psychic Phase, the Grey Knights, hammer, hand and force on both units. That's it. Going to shooting now on turn 4. Right, shooting for the Grey Knights on turn 4. Storm Raven firing down. Lance Cannon hit 2 Typhoon missile hits, and then he fired his other missiles. They hit the hammer as well, but we jinked and saved all of them with that disruption pod technology. Then firing through here, the Tower Crisis teams, 1 drone gone, and then 1 wound on the Crisis suits, and then Ben has just run up here behind cover as well. There's no assault, so that marks the end of turn 4 for the Grey Knights. It's a quick turn. Going to go on to Tower turn 4 now, see if we can hunt down these Grey Knights and remove them from the table. Right, Tau turn 4. It's all quiet here at SSWG. We're one of the last to leave. We're staying late tonight to get this game done. So Hammerhead's moving out. We're going to go for line breaker here. We've worked out points. It is 7-6 to the Grey Knights. So the Tau's still under pressure here. Line breaker will get us a point. We need it. So we've got to bring the flyer down. Hammerhead's multiple targets. They can try and pot shot at the flyer or take on the Grey Knight Terminators there. The Riptide moving forwards a couple of inches. Fire Warriors manning the edge of the building here. Kroot manning the edge of the building. Fire Warriors here. Kroot just staying safe at the back here. And then the XV-88 is just pivoting round to fire at the Terminator squad. And then the Crisis team moving out in this direction to go and hunt Ben's Grey Knights in the corner here. We need to wipe out that Grey Knight Terminator unit and then push on for line breaker and then try and survive, not lose any more units. I'm going to go on to the shooting phase now for the Tau on turn 4. Right, Tau shooting on turn 4. The whole line has erupted here and brought down 4 of the Grey Knight Terminators, 1 left. Ben's got a roll morale for him. Just forgot about that. No, he's fine. Jetpack moves. This squad's just moved back this way. And then the Riptide's moved up 7 inches. Long Strike has boosted up 6. And then this guy took a pot shot up. Hammerhead number 2 took a pot shot up at the Storm Raven. Ben decided to jink, so that's reduced his firing capability on his turn. So we're going to go on to turn 5 now for the Grey Knights. Desperate stuff. The game's so tight. It's been a good game. A lot of the Tau force still intact, which is a good sign in the game, but been leadless really for a good part of it. Ethereal killed, which is a real shame. Could have had a lot more better firepower and morale here. But we've coped, we've dealt with it. Then the commander dying, but it was a noble sacrifice, bringing ultimately Drago to his end as well. We're just looking here. Ben's just done his move. Moving up here. Ben's going for line breaker as well. He could still get victory here. Desperate stuff. Moving up 18 inches with the flyer, and then he's going to try and knock off a point. He's going to go after the Long Strike's Hammerhead there as well. So Ben's still after points at this stage of the game. 6 figures left on the table and 1 flyer. Yeah, it's just doing psychic phase here. Just force on the Grey Knight Terminator there. And Hammerhand over here. We denied force over here on 2 6s. Shooting phase coming up now for the Grey Knights on turn 5. Alright, so shooting for the Grey Knights on turn 5. Just snap firing here, no damage done from the Storm Raven. And then just shuffling an inch now. Just shuffling an inch here with the Grey Knight Terminators. That's it. There's 1 assault. The lone Terminator with the hammer is going to try and charge in. Should easily be able to reach. Yes. Long Strike could be in trouble. So Long Strike's going to snap fire at BS2. He gets the hit. He wounds on a 2+. He gets the wound. 5 up in Vun. Or Long Strike. Oh, he's got it. Right. Hold 1 second. The Riptide says just hold it 1 minute. 3 shots in 6s. We've got 1. 2s to wound. Yes. Another 5 up in Vun required. A 6. And now the last chance from the twin-linked fusion blaster fails. The lone Terminator has made it into combat against Long Strike. Ben is going to do his attacks now.
Right.
3 attacks, 2 hits.
Strength 10, rear armour.
It's 2 auto penetrations.
Demon ammo, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's got a 6 there result. Long Strike has been destroyed. Long Strike's been destroyed. Blows up 3 inches, and he's going to try and wound himself on a 5 or a 6. He doesn't. Good work from the Thunderhammer man. Long Strike is no more, and another point clocked up for the Grey Knights. So that marks the end of the turn for the Grey Knights on turn 5. They've done well. They've taken out Long Strike there, knocked up another point. Going to go on to Tau turn 5. Game could end at the end of this turn, so we're going to have to try our best to destroy the last remaining units for the Grey Knights. So we're going to go on to Tau turn 5. Right, Tau movement on turn 5. Hammerhead number 2 surging ahead there, just trying to be able to position yourself to swing around for line breaker. And the Riptide moving forward 6 as well. We're trying to push on for line break with multiple units. Crisis Suits moving 6 inches along just so they can let off shots at the flyer. Just holding ground here. These guys, the XV-88 broadsides, have moved down and along. They've got a view up to the flyer as well. If we can bring the flyer down and take out the Terminator and get line breaker, then we may be able to secure victory. It's quite a lot to ask, but the Tau could do it. Going to go on to shooting now for the Tau on turn 5. Right, so Tau shooting on turn 5. Hammerhead firing up, no damage. These guys twin linked firing up caused a glancing hit on the Storm Raven. So 1 hull point on him, and Ben has been jinking, so it's knocked his firepower potential down. Kroot squad firing down killed the last Terminator there, and then firing up, no damage on the flyer, and then jetpack moves 6 inches with these guys, 12 inches with the Riptide, and 12 inches with the Riptide moving through. They may get line breaker there if they survive this next turn, if the game indeed goes on. That marks the end of turn 5. I'm going to roll a dice here. We'll let Ben roll. 1 or a 2, it's all over. It's a 3. It's turn 6 coming up. Grey Knight turn 6. Grey Knight turn 6 with 5 Terminators and a Storm Raven left. It's really going right to the very bitter end. Right, move for the Grey Knights on turn 6. Grey Knight Terminators move 6 inches up here. And then Ben's still flying, pivoted up to 90 degrees and then gone 18 inches in this direction. It's going to try and take out the Crisis squads, the Crisis Suits there. That's it. Just 2 units to move. Right, shooting phase here. Ben did particularly well. Missile hit down there, killed a member of the Crisis team. We passed our morale, so the squad's still there. And then 1 wound dealt out from the las cannon on the Riptide, on his last wound now. So really have taken casualties, but still alive, barely. Firing up here from the squad, let rip with everything it had, but passed all of our 2-up armour saves. That marks the end of the shooting phase, and there's no assaults, so that's Grey Knight turn 6 finished. We'll see what the Tau can do. It's over to them. So movement for the Tau, the broadsides holding the ground just there. Fire Warrior squad has moved out 6 inches into the open ground here. This squad holding their ground. Hammerheads just span around. Try pot shot up at the flyer. Riptide just moving on a little bit. Just got to get line breaker, but still fire at the flyer. And then this Crisis team moving forwards a little bit as well. So shooting, we'll try and bring that flyer down. 2 hull points left and try and take out as many of the Terminators as possible. Tau shooting phase coming up now on turn 6, right at the last part of the game. Right, shooting for the Tau. We've failed to do any damage to the flyer, and then firing through. Fire Warrior squads firing down, and then the XV-88s did well. All the Grey Knight Terminators except 1 destroyed. So all that Ben has left on the table is 1 Grey Knight Terminator, and then the flyer on top of that. So that marks the end of Tau turn 6. 4+ for Grey Knight turn 7. Ben wants the game to end. It does. We're going to have to calculate points. We've got a sneaking suspicion that Grey Knights have won. Would you believe it? We'll work it out. Right, so just calculating out points here. Very, very controversial, if we think. Right, just calculating out points here. Boy, has it been tight. One of the closest games ever. Grey Knights almost stole victory here, but it has gone to the Tau. So points for the Grey Knights. Ben got 2 points for killing the Ethereal, 2 points for killing my Warlord, the Commander, and then 1 point for First Blood, 1 point for the Pathfinder team destroyed, 1 point for the Crisis team destroyed, and then 1 point for that Hammerhead. That gave Ben 8 points. And then the Tau got 2 points for killing the Librarian. That was Ben's Warlord. 1 point for the Terminator squad, 1 point for the Paladins, 1 point for Drago, 1 point for the Vindicar, 2 points for the 2 Dread Knights killed, and then the final point, Line Breaker, is what brought Tau the victory in the end. So we have 1 flyer and 1 Justicar left on the table the Tau have won this Challenge the Scorpion game, but boy, was it close. Grey Knights almost tabled, and yet almost snatching victory at the end. Great game, nice terrain, good army, a real tense. Ben says rematch. The Tau say rematch as well, so you may see these two forces clashing again in the future. Good game. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time. Yeah, just talking about unit of the game here for Ben. He's saying the Dreadnoughts. Have to agree, that Dreadnought assault was terrifying. They went right up to the tower very quick and caused a whole lot of trouble. Then for the tower, I would have to say, yeah, the Riptide did all right. I like the XV-88s, they did well. Those twin-link plasma rifles on top were an asset, letting off some decent firepower throughout the game. Just causing casualties with those AP2, AP1 weapons. Yeah, man of the match goes to the Demon Hammer guy at the back there, taking out Long Strike. But there it is. A lot of units performing well, but we've narrowed it down there to the XV-88s for the Tau, and the Dreadnoughts for Ben's Grey Knights.